Hey Sneakies, welcome back for some more Warframe, and yes, we're still celebrating Christmas. Even Nekros is getting the holiday spirit, even though he looks completely ridiculous. This is kind of like the Warframe equivalent of wearing one of those horrible Christmas sweaters your grandma knitted for you, but he still looks kind of happy. I mean, you can't really tell. Yeah, never mind. Alright, well anyways, for this episode, we are heading to the next mission on Mars, and we're actually going to do a Dark Sector mission. It's going to be a Dark Sector defense. It's Kadesh, and the infestation levels range from 10 to 20. We also have some sneakies joining us. We have Joker Wild 24 and Fast Nikolai, as well as Kitso. So let's go get them. And yes, this is the way these Dark Sector missions work. Basically, a clan or an alliance controls it, and if they're in control of it, other clans and alliances can come and contest it and battle with them, and people choose which side they want to support, and then the winner gets to choose how much basically tax they can put on it, credits and resources. Fortunately, 20% not too bad. Not anywhere near as bad as some of the people I've seen on PC. We are not even going to get into that right now, but we will definitely be getting into that later in the series. These people have to be exposed for the frauds that they are. Damn savages. Alright, anyways, let's get going here. Infiltrated, here we go.
The enemy is at our doorstep. You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
This is highly unusual. I wasn't expecting to see this whole tile set here. Normally they use the regular nodes. But I guess this is different because it's a Dark Sector. Alright, well, let's keep going. Sasha's with us too, so we should be plenty safe. She's quite vicious and definitely can rely on her. Alright, so we've also got a Penta, one of my favorite guns in the game, so we will definitely be dishing out the pain left and right. Oh yes. And it's max rank too, so these infestation really don't stand much of a chance at all. Poor guys and ladies, I'm not really sure what they're considered. Do they even have genders? I mean, I'm sure somebody who's really hardcore into the lore might know. I really don't. I need to get more into the whole lore and the storyline and everything. It's also why I want to get the original game that started this series, Dark Sector. As soon as that game goes on sale and I get my hands on it, I'm going to be doing a playthrough on my channel. That way we can link it together with this series. I did actually have that game at one time, but I ended up selling it before I played through it. I did play part of the demo though, so I kind of played it. Not quite. Just really interesting because at the time I had no idea it had anything to do with the game, and then all these years later I find out, whoa, this sounds a lot like Warframe. Oh, what do you know? It is Warframe, basically. Okay, so we also have to use some of Nekros' abilities while we're here. Oh, we have to use our huge candy cane too. I had to run that back with me. This is the Christmas episode after all. Can't get over how ridiculous Nekros really does look. Oh, I can't even see him. Okay. Fortunately, my entire team's pretty much overpowered for this mission anyway, so we are completely good for this. Now, this tile set can be a little bit tricky because there are so many different angles they can come from. Like, some tile sets you only have to worry about, like, maybe 2, 3 at the most. This one, they can come from here, they can come from down here, they can come from up there, they can come down over here through this opening thing. They can come from over here, just, you're completely surrounded. So as they progressively get more difficult as this goes on, it's just going to get much more challenging than your average defense mission necessarily would. Now, Nekros is really good for defense missions because he can use multiple abilities. Number one, he can use his Desecrate, so he can be spawning health orbs left and right, which I actually should be using. There you go. See, we just spawned a little health orb there. That's very nice, definitely in case you don't have a Trinity or even an Oberon with you for their healing powers. And also, we have this very nice ability, which I'll be casting in a moment. We may as well, since we have so much energy. Oh, there's a mod, thank you. Nothing great, but still, it's mod. Come on now. I really haven't used Nekros enough in this series at all. Alright, here we go. Terrify! Run away! I really like that ability. I don't use it too often. Oh, jeez! Shadows of the Dead, here we go. Alright, so now we have some minions that are going to survive with us for, well, 25 more seconds. Wow, that actually lasts pretty long. I need to mod Nekros better, but that's definitely longer than you typically have them. Of course, there's probably people watching this video who have them modded really well, and they're like, that's it? In which case, I say, shut up. Not really. Not that much of a jerk. Alright, so wave 5 is done. We're going to continue.
Unless you can handle more.
That certainly wasn't very long, and wasn't very challenging up to this point. Sure, by now, if you've been following the series, you're already well aware every 5 waves you get offered a reward to actually leave. I believe with one of these last updates, though, they made it so that if you continue, you actually receive all of the rewards that you've banked up to that point. Whereas before that, I believe they were making it so you only collected the reward that you actually were offered on that particular wave. Alright, so we've got to mix in the huge candy cane. Every time I say that, I think of that movie Joyride. If you're not aware of that movie, basically there's 2 guys driving a car, and there's this truck driver who's pretty much terrorizing them, and they kind of pretend that they're a female and they call themselves Candy Cane, and then they kind of trick him, and then he gets really mad and he starts chasing them, and that's what causes the terrorizing and all that stuff. And you just say, Candy Cane, Candy Cane. Not quite in that voice, but after watching enough times, it definitely gets burned into your memory. Christmas was never the same after that. Alright, Terrify again, run away, you minions. Now, fortunately, we do have an Ember Prime as well. That's why you keep seeing this fire pop up. Fire is very, very effective against the infestation. Shadows of the Dead. I just broke the aim. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but bravo. I don't know how to respond to that. Where's Sasha? There you are. Are you doing any work over there, young lady? I haven't really been paying attention. Hopefully you are. Normally you do. Oh, these guys still live. Okay, I need to use my Desecrate more. I'm not using it often enough. I don't play as Nekros enough, so the deal with Warframe is pretty much most people choose one Warframe, and then that's their what they call their main Warframe, and or primary Warframe, whatever you want to call it. There we go, Shadows of the Dead again. Love that ability. Alright. Yeah, so they choose one Warframe as their main Warframe, and then they're pretty much really good with that one, but they're probably average with the other ones that they have. So if you're not using them very often, you're not going to be as effective as somebody who's using it every day they play the game. Unless you're just naturally gifted at the game and it doesn't matter, you're just a Warframe god and none of this makes any sense to you. I'm just speaking a bunch of gibberish right now. Alright, so they're dead. I can actually desecrate them too. You won't necessarily... Okay, you won't necessarily always get the dead bodies to actually desecrate, but there's a pretty good chance, especially after you rank it up enough. Anyway, let's keep going. Not really paying enough attention with my punta. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Only presents I'm delivering are the pain right to their faces. But yeah, because of those two abilities primarily, Nekros is really effective in defense missions. He's also really effective in survival and other missions too. He's all around a great Warframe. He's not a tank by any means, but definitely a very useful support of Warframe. Now let's get the Shadows of the Dead going again. This will actually spawn the last, I think it's 5, no, it's more than 5. However many it spawns, it will spawn the last however many of those enemies that were killed. So, ideally you want to kill like the strongest ones, like probably in our case, like the Ancients, at least right now. Like even Ancient Healers, I believe, will actually heal us too, which is pretty cool. And I also had to use Nekros for this episode because I still wanted to use the Either Reaper from the last one, but I was going to use Nekros for that intro because the sights are more or less kind of meant for him, basically, in terms of like cosmetic appeal.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to
like Nekros is pretty much death, to be honest. He represents death out of all the Warframe characters. And what do you see Death holding normally? A scythe, so yes.
Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Yeah, we'll probably extract at wave 15, even though we could probably go really long. The good thing with the Penta is you could even use it kind of like as a trap. Like you could just shoot it right there. As soon as an enemy runs by, you can launch it. Or detonate it, whatever you want to call it. Oh man, it's getting crazy here. Alright, Shadows of the Dead, go get him! And let's also start desecrating as well while we're thinking about it. Most of the builds of Nekros that you'll see other people use are pretty much centered around making Desecrate as useful as possible. Because he's really the Warframe you want to bring with you if you're trying to farm for resources. Because he essentially makes enemies drop the, go through the drop tables twice. If you split them in half with like a really high slash damage, if you slice them in half, it will actually make them into 2 bodies too. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Get back! Go back to her. Alright, let's get Shadows of the Dead again. Oh man, just lost my shield. This is not good. Clear all this out. All this nonsense. See, this is where it starts to get a little bit more challenging. Fortunately, we're still managing it pretty well. I mean, we don't have the most ideal team in terms of the Warframe choices. That's only really necessarily relevant if you go like extremely long term in one of these missions. I'm not even really sure there's an actual like 4-person dream team necessarily. Like, there's more than 4 different Warframes that would be really effective here as a team. Trinity, Nekros, Rhino, Nova, Nyx. Excalibur can be too because of his blinding ability. Just so many different choices. What I'd really like to see is a team of completely ridiculous Warframe choices for a defense mission. Or not necessarily that so much, but like not your traditional choices, let's say that. We get him Shadows of the Dead, and we need to start launching some more Penta rockets. Oh man, not rockets, grenades. The Ogress is the rocket launcher, the Penta is the grenade launcher. I do recommend this Penta for anybody interested in a very good weapon. I hope they add a Penta Prime soon. That'd be really ideal. The only reason I stopped using it is because I got up to rank 30 and I want to keep adding new weapons into the series, and it just kind of ends up going that way. But yeah, even though they did kind of debuff it by really limiting the amount of ammo it has, it's still a really effective crowd control weapon. Oh yeah, just look at that. Close quarters, it's unmatched. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. What's my big, huge candy cane weapon? Here we go. Oh jeez, alright. Get back to the defense point. It's very important not to leave this. Typically, if you're playing with a bunch of randoms, you'll notice that they'll typically run off and leave this completely vulnerable, and that's why you end up losing. I probably should have mentioned Frost. He's really good too because of the snow globe on here. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be the last wave we're going to do, so let's get our Shadows of the Dead going. We have a good team here. We have some Exploders. Crawler. Oh, mostly Exploders. Oh, that was really a terrible choice. It's alright though, we'll be fine. Now, I was going to show some of the other Christmas-themed things they've done in Warframe. I was kind of expecting it to show up in this video, or this mission, but some of the, like the containers that you can destroy to drop loot from them, they actually turn those into, like, Christmas gift sacks. That was pretty cool. They also put, like, reindeer, I don't know what you call them, headbands onto some of the Grenier that I've seen running around. It's funny seeing, like, antlers on them and all that good stuff. Even though it's not really much, it's something. I'm not sure if it's because maybe there's something on the market that somebody could buy to make that happen. I was just playing with random people who happen to have it equipped or not. I really don't know what caused it, but it was still pretty cool to see.
Extraction is ready.
Alright, so that will be enough for this particular mission. It's quite effective, and we even got a rare mod, Ravage, for our shotgun. We already had it, but still, it's a nice little reward to receive anyway.
That's the last of them. Objective is secure.
Whoa, we got 5 Morphics in that mission. That is crazy. See, that's what I was talking about the last mission. Alright, we're back on our ship. As I was saying, in the last episode, I was talking about how you just go to infestation-controlled nodes, and Morphics just drop like crazy if they drop on that particular planet. But I was necessarily not referring to a regular mission like that, like a Dark Sector, but Dark Sectors are pretty good for it. But in terms of farming in general, the infestation's usually the best because they come out in larger numbers than the other factions, and they're also easier to kill in general, so that just worked out very nicely. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the stats, and damage dealt goes to Kitso by far. Oh, actually just barely past Fast Nikolai. Fast Nikolai, however, got least damage taken as well as total kills and headshots. I got melee kills, but we're going to give it to Fast Nikolai. Nobody died. Upgrades received goes to Joker Wild. Abilities used goes to Kitso. Accuracy goes to Kitso, and pickup count goes to Fast Nikolai. So we're going to give Fast Nikolai the MVP of this episode. So congratulations. Alright, and
are you enjoying the view?
this Ordis guy really gets on my nerves. I really can't say that enough. If it's not him, it's Lotus. They always interrupt me in these videos. Normally I cut those parts out and I just re-edit it later, but these last 2 episodes I just put in just to show you how much the struggle is real. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed watching this Christmas-themed episode of Warframe. Well, kind of Christmas-themed. It wasn't really, because it's really difficult to make a Christmas-themed episode on this game. Unless they had a special Christmas mission, kind of like how they had the Halloween mission, but I don't think they did add unless I missed something. I don't think I did, though, because I've been logging in every single day. But future reference Digital Extreme if you happen to watch this video. And I also do hope you enjoyed watching Nekros dress up pretty ridiculously, even though he prefers black. He had to get into the Christmas spirit, just for your amusement. And yes, remember to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more in the future, and make sure you have a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday depending on what you celebrate, and I will see you next time for some more Warframe.